You ever wonder what a country is actually focused on day to day? I mean, you can look at the big 10-year plans, sure, but sometimes you get the clearest picture by zooming way in. So that's what we're going to do. We're going to unpack the headlines from just one single day and see what they tell us about the bigger picture. So that's really the big question, right? What can just one day's news tell us? Well, by kind of weaving together a few key stories, we can start to piece together this really fascinating snapshot. It's like seeing a nation juggling its future, its economy, and its social identity, all at the same time. So let's start with the future. Let's talk tech. Okay, first up, high tech. A nation's future is, well, it's pretty much built on its ability to innovate, right? And today there was this major announcement that really shines a light on how that's being encouraged. So imagine you've got this absolutely groundbreaking idea. I'm not talking about another photo sharing app. I mean something fundamental, like a new kind of material or a real AI breakthrough. The problem with these deep tech ideas is they take a long time to develop. And trying to convince investors to back a brand new company, wow, that is incredibly tough. It's this early funding gap. It's like a chasm where so many brilliant ideas just fizzle out. All right, so to fix this, the Department of Scientific and Industrial Research, or DSIR for short, just made a really pivotal move. And the real game changer here, you gotta look at step one. They completely got rid of the rule that a startup had to be around for 3 years to even apply for funding. I mean, think about that. This is huge. It means brand new companies with really bold ideas can get help right from the get-go, as long as their tech is legit.
And we're not talking about a little bit of seed money here. Nope. We're talking about financial assistance of up to 1 crore rupees. That is a serious injection of both confidence and cash right into the most ambitious and, let's be honest, often the riskiest part of the startup world. It's all designed to help them innovate and scale right from day one.
Okay, so that's the future. But how does that connect to the powerhouse of the economy right now? Well, I'm talking about small and medium-sized businesses. These companies are absolutely vital, especially when it comes to exporting goods. But they face their own massive set of challenges. Think about it. If you're a small business, an MSME, and you're trying to sell your stuff overseas, you almost always run into two huge roadblocks. First, borrowing money for those big shipments, the cost can be crazy high. And second, you often don't have the stuff, the collateral that banks demand to even give you a loan. It's a total catch-22, and it can just completely stop growth in its tracks. So what's being done? Well, here we see a really smart, two-pronged solution. It's like a 1-2 punch. On one side, you've got a scheme that attacks the cost problem directly. It just cuts the interest rate on loans. Then on the other side, a different scheme tackles the access problem. It gives guarantees so banks are actually willing to lend the money. It's a really targeted push to clear both of those hurdles at the same time. And if you dig into the details of that support, it's pretty interesting. You can see it's tiered. The tiniest businesses, the micro and small exporters, they get up to 85% of their loan guaranteed. The medium-sized ones get 65%. So what does that tell you? It shows a really clear strategy to help the most vulnerable businesses first, to give them a real shot at competing on the world stage. But, a nation isn't just about its economy, is it? It's a society. It's people. So let's shift gears a little bit away from finance and tech, because the headlines from this same day also show a really deep engagement with some complex social issues, everything from empowerment to identity. And first up, we have a really wonderful, positive story. It was World Braille Day, and to mark it, the National Federation of the Blind launched a brand new campaign right in New Delhi. It just put a much-needed spotlight on inclusivity for the visually impaired. The slogan for the campaign is so simple, but wow, is it powerful. More Braille, more empowerment. It's more than just a tagline, right? It's a call to action. It frames Braille not just as a tool for reading, but as a fundamental key to unlocking equality, independence, and dignity. So you have that positive story. And then, happening at the exact same time, a much more complex and pretty contentious social issue is unfolding in Assam. And this one really gets into those delicate questions of identity and rights that, well, nations often have to wrestle with. Okay, so here's the breakdown. The state government has put forward a proposal to grant official scheduled tribe status to 6 different communities. But Assam's main tribal body is strongly opposing this. And their opposition isn't minor. They're citing some serious constitutional and political concerns, which is creating a very tense and very complicated debate.
All right, so let's take a step back. We've talked about deep tech funding, we've looked at export schemes, and we've touched on these really profound social debates. When you start to pull all these different threads from just one single day together, what's the bigger story that starts to take shape?
What you start to see is this incredible national balancing act in just 24 hours, right? We see a focus on building the future with technology, a real commitment to strengthening the economy right now, and this deep engagement with the social fabric of the country, looking at both the unifying parts and the really challenging part.
It really shows a nation that's constantly in motion. It's building, supporting, and debating, all at the same time. And that kind of leaves us with one last thought to chew on. If this is the rich, complex story that just one day can tell, just imagine the story an entire year would tell. All the info in this breakdown, by the way, came from the UPS Crux Digest. Hopefully this gives you a bit of a new way to look at the daily news. Thanks so much for joining us.